All right, perfect. And let me share my ugly face. There we go. All right, there we. Perfect. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Fausto Pugliese, president founder of Cybertrain University. Thank you for coming today on this lovely day. Market's now at about 45 points. We had a huge correction going on this week. We were down almost 1,200 points, almost 13, almost 13. You're probably freaking out. You're wondering what's going on. Is COVID still around? Is it inflation affecting it? Some of you are swing trading. Maybe you're trying a different type of a market and not understanding what's going on. Maybe you want to change. Maybe you want to quit. No, you know what? It's not that, all these bad things are happening. You just got to know how to play the game because it's actually been a really good market for us traders. And that's what I'm going to do today. Today, I'm going to teach you the art of trading. Now, we have a lot of representatives here at Cybertrain University. They're going to answer your questions. Yes, this is a live event. For some of you that think this is, maybe one of these recordings. No, it's live. So if you have any questions, feel free to answer them. If I don't want to hold us up too much, I know we have other things to do. I'm going to get right into it. We're probably going to go for about 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. But I'm telling you, it's going to go very, very fast. The one thing I'm going to make a big promise to all of you. What you're about to see is going to be the most disturbing and most depressing thing you ever seen because you're going to realize that trading is not that hard. It's not that complicated. Maybe you took training from someone else and now realize that they taught you everything that was happening in the past. I'm going to teach you what's going to happen in the future. And it's all going to talk about how to trade and buy with the order book. Now, for some of you, what's the order book? Well, I'm going to show you how you can have a seat on the exchange of the market. And that's going to be the great part about it. So, with that saying, ladies and gentlemen, just really quick little disclosure. Just let you know, I'm not making any guarantees or promises or warranties. You need to trade responsibly. You could lose a lot of money, if not all of it. So once again, be very, very careful. But this is strictly just educational purposes only. All right. Now, let's dive right into it, what we're about to learn. We're going to talk about how to find the big money. We're going to talk about the most important trading tools that you need to trade today's volatile markets. The best times to trade in the market, how to become a overall rounded, very successful trader. We're going to talk about a couple of strategies you could apply towards swing trading, investing. We're also going to talk about how to use charts. Do you know 80–90% of you are reading charts backwards? I know that might sound crazy, but don't worry about it. We're going to cover it. And we're also going to talk about a lot more. Now, here's a couple of questions I want to ask all of you. Do you feel sometimes that you're missing some opportunities by entering too late? You feel like you're one of those people? How about this? Question 2. Do you wish you could be consistently seeing the future of the market? Now, that sounds, pretty ridiculous. But no, it's not. I'm going to show you. We're going to do that. But wouldn't it be nice that you'll be able to have a little bit of a game plan to know where they are? How about question number 3? I like this one, which is coming up next. But if you said yes to any of these questions, well, guess what? Good news, you're in the right place. So that's really what we're going to cover. So question 3, this is where we're going to go into it. Are you one of these types of traders? Now, do you feel sometimes you're too afraid? Do you feel like sometimes you're too greedy? In a way you're refusing to take losses and stuff like that. Too analytical. You're sitting there, reading this chart, that chart, adding this indicator, listen to this person, reading that book, watching this YouTube video. Do you feel like that person? Well, these are the categories people have all the time. And I'm hopefully going to try to eliminate and take all that off your chest today because these are the issues that make people lose in the market. Specifically, one very big thing, which you probably won't hear from any other gurus out there. I am not here to teach you how to make money. And I know, wait a minute, isn't that the whole purpose of being here? No. The reason why you're here is you need to learn how to take losses. You see, if you knew how to take losses, the winners take care of themselves. Nobody likes to take a loss. I'm going to show you some examples that are going to knock your socks off, and you're going to be like, my God, thank God I got out of the position. If I didn't, I would have got crushed. And these are all the things, the greed, the afraid, too analytical. So now you might ask yourself, how does Fausto know which stocks to trade? Well, the big thing is I just follow the money. If you're not following the big block orders, the institutions, the high frequency trades, the dark pools, the algorithms, you're pretty much in the dark. I mean, think about it. Who really trained you? I mean, and then where did they learn? Were they like me? Did they work on Wall Street? Well, so before I get explain how I do that, let me introduce myself. So you know who I am and why you're here and why I'm here to talk to you, because my goal today is I am looking for traders that I could personally train, that I could train with you. Okay. That's really what it comes down to it. So, by the way, there's a couple of questions coming across here. I know Alex, you're here. Just feel free if you could ever answer, share some of those great questions. Some of them we need to copy, and I want you to share them in there. All right. So please, let's go take care of that, because I think a lot of people here should see some of the great questions are out there. Now, just to let you know about myself, I got 25 years of trading experience. I'm a veteran. I've been in the trading community. I work, like I said, I live here in New York, the financial capital of the world. And with that said, being in the financial capital of the world, I live in an area where there's just so many market makers that live in my town. I deal with these people all day. They go to my country club. I see them out to dinner. Listen, you're not going to beat them. And I think you all know that, okay? And the reason why that is because you got to join them. You have to join them. These people are trading millions and millions and millions of shares, billions of dollars. Don't think you're going to outsmart them, okay? And only way you could really learn how to do it is the way I did it. You got to come here in New York. You got to get a job as a trader. You got to take your Series 7 license, your trading license, all that. And you got to hope that they'll keep you and they don't fire you. Or you could do things on your own, okay? So the thing is, technology has changed. That's what it was like in the past. Now, today, you don't got to be there. You could do this anywhere around the world. You don't have to get a job anymore, but there's a couple of things you do need to know that to be successful. First of all, you can't trade by yourself, okay? It's almost impossible. You need someone out there that's going to be you're trading side by side. You can't open a restaurant just because you think you know how to cook, okay? You need a manager. You need waiters. You need a front office girl. You need a bookkeeper. You need a bartender. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you could do all yourself. You could try, but eventually you're going to see, you know what? Maybe I should surround myself with good to help me. But also, very importantly, you need people to trade like you and that are successful. And that's what I learned. So I've been featured all over. Like I said, I'm doing training with NASDAQ. You probably see me on their show several times. I've been all over doing speakings. But the thing is this, being a good speaker does not make you money, okay? What you're here to do is you need to see if we could teach you how to do it and think for yourself. So, that's the beauty of it. I'm also, once again, author of a book, How to Beat Market Makers Their Own Game. And by the way, at the end of this presentation, I don't want you to go to Amazon and buy it. I'm going to give it to you for free. So you definitely don't want to go anywhere. So, but this isn't about me. Okay. This is about you. Okay. Now that you know a little history about myself and you're saying, okay, Fausto, I've seen you several times. You've got a very good credential. I looked you up on Google. I see you got a 5-star rating. I looked you up on the Better Business Bureau. You got an A+ rating. You're endorsed by your brokerage firm, but that doesn't make me money. My question, you need to say, could Fausto teach you how to make money? All right. So the most important thing you're going to take away is that you need to learn how to be consistency of trading in today's markets. And what most people do is they constantly look backwards. Okay. So imagine driving a car, all right, looking through your rearview mirror. How did that work out for you? Well, that's what you're doing in the market. That's what most traders do. They're looking at indicators. They're looking at charts. They keep looking, oh, where was the stock before? Maybe this is support. Maybe this is a resistance. Does not work that way. You cannot have a support resistance levels. You can't use an indicator what happened in the past because it's not always indicative of the future. What happens, you come up to an exit and you look at your GPS and the exit's closed. Could that happen? But the exit says it's open. That's what the GPS says. What, are you going to crash into that wall? You know what I mean? Like, I know it sounds pretty ridiculous and, with these metaphors, but it's really the truth. You need to know those same people that were in the past, are they there in the future? Okay? Because the same people that are there in the future are the ones that committed in the past. And if they're not there in the future, guess what? You're going to be caught holding the bag, and you're going to be trading looking through your rearview mirror. So most indicators, most forecasts are based on historical data, and you're not here to do that. Today's indicators, how many are there out there? Not 10, not 100, they're thousands. And you're like, which one do I choose from? Who do I go through? Well, listen, which is the right indicator to use? I'm going to tell you right now. Let's look at what we're looking at right now. Okay, let's look at this stock right here. I have a question for all of you. All right, let me see if my poll questions are up here. Let me see. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to do a poll. Is this stock going up or going down? What do you guys think? Just want to answer somebody really quick. Now, listen, if you can't answer this question, I'm just going to give you a little advice. You're probably better off quitting. I'm just being very dead honest with you. We put a poll up there. Tell me, is the stock going up or going down? All right, I'm going to end the poll. I'm going to share the results. So 87% of you say it's going up. 13% of you going down. First of all, I don't even know what makes you think it's going down. The trend looks like it's going higher. And what data do you have that tells me it's going to go lower? I'm looking at the trend, but this is not the answer. The answer I'm looking for is this. Did you need an indicator to tell you that? Did you need all this stuff, all this fancy Bollinger Bands and the moving averages and the paint bars and all that stuff? Did you need that? Right, Lewis? Did you need it? No, you didn't need it, Lewis. What about you? Albert and Ann and Bill, Brad, Charles, did you need it? It looks like to me like a couple of, I feel like I'm landing a spaceship right here. Listen, don't get greedy. You have to understand something. Technical analysis, paralysis, what we say. But I'm going to teach you the KISS method, how to keep it very, very simple. And indicators, you have to understand, are laggers. That's where it comes into. It doesn't tell you where the future is. It only tells you what happened with certain past. And indicators, if you don't know this, were invented by mathematicians. Now, who do you want to learn from? A mathematician, or do you want to learn from, traders? So, how can we see the future? The answer is the first question I asked you. What makes a stock move in the first place? So let me see how all of you answer this question. What makes anything a stock move? Henry says volume. Anybody else? Lewis says buyers. Come on, traders, don't be shy, please. I am not here to waste my time, okay? I'm here to look for serious traders I want to learn. You just answer. If you don't know the answer, just give me a question mark. Orders, volume. Monty says BS, which is not the BS we're thinking of. I think it's buyers and sellers. But right. So anyway, if you said supply and demand, you're only getting a partial of the credit. Okay. So what stocks basically move on is with volume and specifically big orders. That's what we're going to focus on. So when we're going out there, we're going to look for these big orders, the same people that you see on the floor of the exchange. What are those guys doing? What are they looking at? What are they focusing on? They're trading the same stocks that you're trading, and the ones that you're trading, you need to know where they are. So to find these orders, we need to use a couple of specific tools. And these are the tools we're going to focus on. Level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. Those are the four tools we're going to talk about. So I want to start off with level 1 and level 2. Now, this is where we're going to start getting very into the style of Cyber Trading University. All right. So the whole idea is first, you need to know where are the buyers, okay? Where are the sellers? What's the stock trading at? Forget about all that other fancy Nancy stuff that you get. Those little heat maps and those, newsletters. Forget about that stuff right now. Right now, you need to know, someone tells you to buy a stock. What's the first thing you do? You want to see what the stock is trading at, right? So level one gives you that basic data. It tells you, hold on, let me get my crayons out here. My crayons, you guys follow along. There we go. All right, there's my little pointer. So level one is basically, you can get that on anything, your phone, you watch it on TV. It just tells you specifically what the stock's trading at. Level two is basically, was pretty big in the 90s. This is kind of telling you what the stock, where the buyers are, where the sellers are, and at what price. So it's, in layman terms, what you have right here, I'll kind of explain it. The left are the buyers, the right are the sellers. That's the bid, that's the ask. These are all brokerage firms and exchanges, the price they want to buy for at that exchange, and how many shares. Everything there is multiplied by 100. Whoever wants to buy it for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to buy for less money is down at the bottom. It's pretty self-explanatory. The problem with this is it doesn't show you all the data. Now, remember what I just asked you just about a couple of minutes ago. How do stocks go up and go down? Buyers and sellers. How do options go up and down? Buyers and sellers. How do Beanie Babies go back up? How do cars go up? How does inflation work? Buyers and sellers. It's all about, you buy a house. Why does the value go up? Buyers and sellers. You don't need an indicator to tell you, oh, that house is for sale. Let me go check a Fibonacci or a Bollinger Band. Let me see if it's really time to buy that house. You ever hear that? I mean, it sounds pretty ridiculous, but it almost makes the same. It makes sense. So let me explain to you what we're gonna see here. All right. So let me just clear this out. What you really need to trade and understand what's going on is something called level 3. Now, I want to just do another poll right here, and I want to find out, does anyone here have level 3 or NASDAQ total view? Let me just do a quick poll on that. All right, just waiting for everybody to answer the question. Oops, turn off my camera. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to share the results and poll, share results. There we go. All right, so 74% of you don't have it. You got about 6% that not sure, and you got 21% that do have it. Now, this is where things are going to get really, really shocking, and you're going to start saying, like, why in the hell have I not been using this stuff? How in the hell have I not seen this before? All right, so let's talk a little bit about this. Level 3, by the way, have any of you ever seen me on NASDAQ, NASDAQ Trade Talks with Jill? I'm usually on there, every few weeks talking about strategies. Now, listen, you have to understand something. NASDAQ, the exchange, started this. Okay, now the New York Stock Exchange, all the other exchanges are doing things electronically. The most important thing that they want you to learn is not to trade. They want you to know how to trade. They want you to know how their system works. So I'm one of their featured educators that come out there to teach you. And remember, NASDAQ, they don't need me. I mean, they're NASDAQ, for crying out loud, but they know the value that you need to know this, because this is why 80–90% of people fail. So let's talk a little bit about how it works. Here we have a chart, right? So stock right here, you could see it went from, I don't know, what was that, $25.30? See how it came all the way down to a price right around this $22.80. When it got to $22.80, then the stock went out there and it shot right up. It went from $22.80 all the way to $24.40. Now, why did it start at $22.90 right around there? It stopped right there and went up for one reason and one reason only. There was a 45,000 share buyer right around that price. Now look at it. You got buyers at 200, 2 shares, 1,000 shares, 100 shares. 45,000 if you waited from 22.98 and literally about 10 cents lower, 15 cents lower. There was a very large, what we call iceberg order, a big block order right there at that price. And guess what? Once that happened, boom, stock went up. It's the only reason why the stock moved. Only reason. Now, let's look at this example. Stock goes from 1430, shoots all the way up to around 1590, 1550, comes back down. Why did it stop at that price? Why didn't it go to $16, $17? Why didn't it stop at 15? Why did it continue and then finally found the resistance levels? Hit that resistance, boom, came down. Why? Because there was a 93,000 share seller out there at 1550. Now, Cheryl, that's pretty funny that you bring that up, okay? So you just got to understand something. How these stocks go up and go down? Supply and demand. That's how it goes up. Supply and demand. So when it comes down to that, when you're trading in today's markets, what makes supply and demand? If you go right to the exchange and you're looking at a stock and you want to have a game plan and you want to take a profit, you need to have that. Does NASDAQ level 3 work on indices? Yes, it does. Absolutely. And by the way, this also works for options, futures, cryptocurrency, everything. All right. So let's go over a couple more examples. Looking at a stock LCID and it's moving lower, right? You ever go into a stock and it's going down? You're like, oh my God, I own the 1460. It's going down. What's the first thing that comes to mind? What's the first thing that you think of? Sell? What do you do? What's everybody do? I'm just curious. Get out. Turn the TV on. Hopefully, going to talk about it. What do? Open up the Wall Street Journal. You panic, Cheryl? Okay. Well, what can prevent the stock from going lower? I think that's the question I should be asking. What is going to stop this stock from going down? Where will stop, Mary? Well, once again, what is it? Not support levels, Simon. Nope. We need buyers. Remember, we started from the beginning. We need buyers. Now, I know everybody likes to read a chart. Do you see buyers on a chart? That's the $64,000 question. No. So there's only one other way. We got to go and check on the exchange and see, okay, well, where's everybody else? So we need to follow the orders. That's what we need to do. Going to bring up the stock symbol on LCID. And I noticed that once we get around 14 bucks and around 13.95, I got a 45,000 share buyer and I got a 17,000 share, 3,000, 4,000. Pretty substantial, right between $14 and $13.80. So in theory, what do you think is going to happen when we get to that price? Exactly. Boom. Stock goes all the way up and shoots right up to back to 1470. You ever go into a situation of trading, you're like, oh my God, I'm losing money. You're like, I gotta sell. And as soon as you sell, you're like, it's the first thing comes to your mind. You gotta know how to panic. You gotta say, okay, listen, I got into a bad situation, okay, and I just have to look at where's everybody else. Is there any buyers coming up? And you know what? If you were 90% of the failure of the people out there and sold that stock right around $14, not knowing that you were coming up to a big buyer out there, guess what? That big loss that you could have had could have been a break even. So that's right, Sam. You see the buyers and you see the sellers. That's where it comes down to it. Let's look at another example. We're looking at Kohl's. Had a big pop in the stock right here, right? Big pop in the morning, 28.50, went up to 30.50, huge run up right in the middle of the day, okay? Now, what is going to make this stock go down? Ask everybody that question. What's going to make this stock go down? I like the way you think, Mary and Bill and John. Sellers, but big sellers, right? Do you see a big seller on a chart? I don't see crap. I don't know what the hell we're looking at other than knowing the stock had a nice little push. Could the stock still go higher? Has that happened? More buyers. You see buyers in the chart? I don't see anybody, right? So what do we need to do? Once again, let's go back to this slide. You got to follow the orders. So Kohl's had a 326,000 share seller right here at $31. Okay, huge seller. Look at all the buyers and sellers. You got 600, 495, 1,300, 100, 326,000 is sitting here. And yeah, by the way, that is a real order for some of you. And if you don't believe me, when I invite you all in my trading room, I'll find an order like that. And if you don't believe me, we'll use your money, and I will bet you anything that you may have. And if you don't get executed on those 300,000 shares, I'll pay you whatever you want. You want to take that bet? We'll do it. But I'll tell you one thing: I'm going to get kicked out of when you own that amount of shares. Even if you got was that $9 million with your bank account to do it. So, looking at the stock, boom, it did exactly what it's supposed to do. It went right up to 31, and if you didn't get out in 31, now you're back down to 30. Not because of Fausto said so, not because of the president said so, not because of the CEO said so. It's because somebody's out there wanting to get out a big block of order. Now let's think about this for a second, fellow traders. How much smarter and better trading decisions if you could see those 300,000 share buyers and sellers out there? I mean, big difference. And this is what we call iceberg orders. And the reason why I call them iceberg orders, it all came out, watching something, if everybody remembers the movie Titanic. Great ship, spent a lot of money, lovely people, they all died. Why? Because the guy on top that was looking out didn't realize how deep that iceberg, it's not what's on top of the water, it's what's on the bottom of the water. Now, my question to everyone here is this. Is anybody confused? Marilisa has a good question. I guess, Alex, could you answer that question for her, please? Thanks. Now, now the other question for everybody else is this. Is that hard? Is anyone confused? Anyone confused here? Doesn't seem complicated, right? It's almost like common sense. You know what it is? You know what? It is. It is common sense, and that's how the market works. So, and now when you start thinking about all those hours and days and money that you spent on education, you almost want to throw it out the door. You know what I mean? And now what are you going to do? How are you going to deal with that? Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. If it was working, you probably wouldn't be here in the first place. That's the way I look at it. So let's have a little fun. You thought level 3 was great. Wait till you see level 4. Okay. Now, level 4 is a very cool tool because this what it's going to do. You got to understand there are multiple exchanges. You got the NASDAQ exchange, you got the New York Stock Exchange, you have ECNs out there, EDGX, BATS, Archipelago. There are brokerage firms out there. And when you look at NASDAQ Book Viewer, you only see what's on the NASDAQ. But imagine you can aggregate the New York and NASDAQ together, because there might be a big trader on the New York that might not be on the NASDAQ. But now it's aggregating it. And not only that, you could see how long he's been out there for. You could see if he got executed. You could see a lot of great stuff. So let's look at this example right here. Okay. So what you're looking at right here is looking at, what is this? Carnival Cruise Lines. Stock went from $9 and went all the way down to a price around $8.70. Big, big drop in a matter of about an hour. Okay. Now, some of us would freak out. We want to get out of the position. And I can't afford to lose it. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, why is it holding here? It's not going any lower. Well, when you look over here on the right, you got 141,000 share buyer, a 137,000 share buyer, another 127. I mean, it's always some pretty a lot of buyers out there. And you can start seeing that the reason why it stopped right around this 870 Now it's starting to go back up. All right. Now, the question is this. Did you need an indicator to tell you that, fellow traders? Yes or no? Do you need an indicator? You mean you didn't need a moving average? You mean you didn't need a stochastic? You mean you didn't need a MACD? You didn't need a Bollinger Band? No. No, I didn't see. What did that tell me? I see a bunch of swiggly lines. Looks like my used to be my 4-year-old used to come home and teach me how to, bring me some nice gifts. And hey, Dad, look what I made you in art class. I'm like, wow. You know what's so funny? If you ever came to my office, I took all my kids' pictures that they took and I plastered on my wall. And then people are like, oh, they're so cute, all you kids. They're like, yeah, but does it look like anything you're familiar of? And like, yeah, it looks like a chart. And that's exactly what it looks like. So here's another good example. Stock goes up. Right around 10:30, you'll notice that a seller showed up for 40,000 shares. And he's been out there for about an hour and a half, and he's not going anywhere. And look what ended up happening. By him showing up, look at it. Everybody knows he's out there, and it's constantly pushing him down, pushing him down, pushing him down, pushing him down. So that's basically what happens here. Now, question is, did you need an indicator to tell you that? I don't know. I think I could see clearer here than looking at this. All right. How about this one? Stock is going up, started around $11 at $12 since the start of this morning, all the way up to about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. There's 19,000 share seller, about 20,000. He's been out there. Did it ever get past 20 in the past hour and a half? It's actually starting to trend down lower and lower. Did you need an indicator to tell you that? No. Oh no. Well, why are you using them then? You see, now listen, I'm not here to knock indicators. It does work for swing traders and long-term traders, but like for me personally, as a day trader, a short-term trader, short-term swing trader, doesn't really work. By the time all this stuff kicks in and you try to figure it out, it's pretty much, already made its move. I'm gonna talk about one more example. This happened today. Okay, look at the stock Chip Tanks. All right. So Chip Tanks right here, and you could see it how it went from 1825 all the way to about right around 20. It came back down. Right. What do? You follow the orders. So let me show you what we have right here. Hold on. Right here. Okay, hold on. Chip, I'm gonna bring up some live data here. This is Chip right here. Chip had a 219,000 share seller out there. Does everybody see that right there? I mean, 200,000. Stock had a big run up this morning. We went from $18, went all the way up, came up to another big seller, which is not as red as this one, around 1950, and then all of a sudden, once it went to 1950 and took this whatever, somewhat of a small trader, here you come up to this $20 resistance. Look what happened when it got close to 20, right around here, which is right around 1980. Once everybody knew he was out there, boom, the thing dropped down to $19. Okay, I'm going to show you something even cooler. Here's a long-term trade chart. And when I go back, and I'm going to draw a trend line for you, right around 20, and let me draw some nice little lines right here. If you look right there, actually, let me get some arrows. Resistance, resistance, resistance. I mean, support, 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 support. Resistance, resistance. Look what happened. What is stock went from $14 all the way to 20. Oh, you think it's going to break out? Yeah, how did that work out for you? Why was there a 200,000 share seller out there? Cheryl says these charts are no joke. Listen, Cheryl, it's all about having a game plan. A lot of traders don't have a game plan when they get into a trade. Now, can we get past $20 and can we go to 26? Listen, charge point. Anybody know the news on this? Anybody know why the stock went up today? Everybody saw what President Biden did. He went to Michigan, and he was talking about, he went over to all these electric cars, and they're pushing electric cars, and California's forcing people on electric cars. But then he also said, well, all these electric cars, we need charging stations. Yeah, great. You know what? We had a nice little move from there to 14 to 20. And you know what? It might go higher. But until someone takes out that 200,000 share seller, it's not going anywhere. And that's why everybody gets themselves in trouble. And that's why people out there lose money, because they don't have that game plan. So let me put this on the side and let's move on. So what do? We follow the orders. Okay. Now, did I lose anybody? What do you mean by market depth? Both show quantity and buyers and sellers. Well, the depth of the market is where are those big buyers and sellers? The depth is how much volatility will go before it gets to one price to the other. That's the depth of the market. Now, I'm going to repeat this. How about this? Did anybody learn anything? Anybody learn anything? Good. Well, that's the important part about it, right? You learned something. Listen, I only spoke and did about maybe 15 minutes of education for you, okay? Imagine if you get to see this for a whole week. Imagine wouldn't it be great to say, okay, Fausto, I like what you're talking about, but could you show me where to find these stocks? Could you show me why they're going up? Could you show me a consistency? Listen, I don't like to use PowerPoints because they make you sound good. And they also could be manipulated. You know what I mean? So I'm not looking to manipulate anybody. I have a reputation. I don't like to tarnish it. But if you want to see it live, I want to invite every one of you to come join my room, my trading room, and see it happen. But not only that, but I want you to see other traders that we've trained that taught this market and show you how they traded and see if they can think for themselves. But you have to know how to play the game. So another thing that's very risky people make is that they don't know how to take a loss, and they want to hold positions overnight. They do day trading because they like the story, and then they day trading, then they make it to a swing trade and so on. This is how 90% of traders fail. And if I'm here, you are trying to get into a business where you have such a huge failure rate, but you still want to do it because you don't believe that you're going to be part of that 90%. Unfortunately, a lot of you will. Why? Because there are some of you here that are looking for, and don't take this in the wrong way. Listen, I'm very brash, but I'm being very honest. I'm a little old-fashioned. Some of you want free stuff, okay? Some of you want to be able to take, be professional webinar takers. You want to listen to all these speakers. Listen, I'm gonna give you a good metaphor that is going to, basically something that we all probably were there once before. Anyone ever try to lose weight? Anybody ever try to lose weight? Right? How many of us? Right? All of us, right? We all try to, just get into shape, whatever it is, right? I'm going to tell you the perfect recipe how to lose weight. Okay? Perfect recipe. After you do your 17th diet, after reading every book, after buying every drug, whatever it is, you buy pills, every shortcut. You know how you lose weight? Go hire a personal trainer and go hire a nutritionist. When you have people involved in your life and now they have to inconvenience you to make you sure that you do your job, that's how you lose weight. Okay? Now, first thing people say, oh, that's a lot of money, Well, when you watch these great actors on TV and my God, why do they have such great bodies and why are they in such in great shape and they're all in good moods? And listen, it's their job. And guess what? This is your job. This is your job. Okay? Sam says, quit eating and you'll lose weight. Well, that's kind of tough thing to do, Sam. It really is. If you love food like me, you know what? You could still eat. You just got to be able to put the time in and do it right. You know what I'm saying? It's like saying you don't want to lose money in the market, don't trade. It's like, this is your job. You know what I mean? That's part of it. So the big thing is this. I've been doing this for over 30 years. I love what I do. I've changed people's lives, but I'm not here for me. I'm here for you because the reason why I became a very good trader is because if I could teach traders and I could surround myself with good traders, we could trade together in our trading room because you might see things that I might not see. So this is not the Fausto show. Okay. This is all about you. So I'm not here, to say, hey, look at my nice yacht. Look at me feeding, giraffes. I'm not an egotistical person. Maybe when I was 24 years old, okay, because I came from nothing, sharing a bed with a room with my brother and sister. My parents came here poor from Italy. I'm first generation, but I've done very well because I've learned the American dream. And the American dream is, you know what? You work hard, keep your nose clean, don't get out of trouble, surround yourself with successful people. You'll be very, very successful. And my family didn't do too well. But I'm not here to tell you about that, and brag about it because I know there's some of you here that are retiring or now COVID's over. They want you to go back to work. You're like, I kind of like doing this. Maybe you want to trade your IRA. You know what I mean? Social Security's not paying enough. So the thing is this, I'm not a greedy person. Okay. I've learned from my mistakes. And the big thing is what matters is having good goals in life. So the big thing is this, you have to learn how to trade successfully and you got to surround yourself with very successful traders. Now, what I'm looking to do is I want you to see the trust of my traders in the room that hopefully you could all be a part of it. And I'm not looking for you to go out of your way or inconvenience yourself. I want you just to step in and see what's going on. I mean, how cool would it be if you could take a trip and spend a day on the New York Stock Exchange and just see and be able to talk to all those traders? I mean, this is the heart of Wall Street. Don't you want to see what they're doing and what you're not doing and why they're there and they're driving those nice cars and at those great restaurants and have those great apartments and, watch those TV shows of the Hamptons and, what are they doing that you can't do it? Well, here's your opportunity. So my thing is I want to make you all part of my family because I have two families, my everyday family and my trading family. And I spend a lot of time with them. And the big thing is this, if I could teach you how to trade, you're going to be able to teach your kids and grandkids, whatever it may be. Listen, there are a lot of schools out there that are my students, my instructors, and it's great. But there are also a lot of people out there that are trying to, hit you with some newsletter and, stock picks and stuff like that. You got to think for yourself. Listen, you can't always hire Uber and Lyft. You got to drive the car yourself, and that's what it's all about. So I want you to learn side by side with my team, and this is basically what it's all about. Yeah, also too, Ralph, not going around bragging about hot chicks. This ain't the Wolf of Wall Street, okay? Listen, I'm going to be 51 years old on September 18th. That's next week. I'm been married for 25 years. I learned how to keep my nose clean. I love my wife. And I personally think that if it wasn't that I had a good job and had the freedom to travel and take my family with me, I don't think I would probably last maybe 5 years. Okay. The whole idea is having a better life and a successful life and doing something where you can spend more time with your family. And that's what it's about. So I want to invite every one of you here to come into my trading room. And you could see it runs from 7:30 in the morning to 4:30. It's a live trading room. I started the first one. I know you're seeing a lot of other people out there. Where do you think they learned? Some of them are my students. Okay. So, but you're going to go to the original. It's like having the original cheesecake, the original chicken wings, whatever it is. You go into the original trading room that I started over 30 years ago. So we start the first audio broadcast around 9 a.m. We continue about 10:30. And then we come back in the afternoon from 2:30 to 4 o'clock. So we commentary at those times. It's a very big commitment for us. Okay. But I'm also a businessman. I'm not here to waste my time. I'm here to trade. My instructors are here to trade. You see that they're answering your questions in the room. I'm looking to recruit traders that I could teach the art of trading because if I could teach you how to do it, we're all going to make money together. So that's the way it works. It's a team effort. This is not a single, like a tennis match. All right. Every Tuesday we do traders talk. We do workshops. And we also have some other amazing changes that we've made. We set up an alert service. You could access the trading room through your phone. So no matter where you are, you will always be connected if you're looking to take this very seriously. So this is the beauty about running a trading room. Now, this is all I'm asking for is $9. Now, we have several hundred people in this room, okay? Does $9 sound like a lot to ask? Does that sound like a lot? $9, this is what you're going to get for $9, okay? You are going to get basically live trading for a whole week in the trading room with your phone and also on the computer. You're going to get a watch list. You're going to get workshops. I'm going to give you a workshop on how to trade on level 3. I'm going to give you a workshop how to read time and sales. I'm going to give you a workshop on entries and exits. Listen, I want to make sure that if you're going to take this seriously, right, that this is something that you get. If you don't get it, it's okay. It's only costing you $9. That's it. The $9, I know it sounds so stupid. They're like, why would you want $9? This thing, I paid thousands for something like this. Listen, we're going to make thousands, but I don't even know if you're qualified to be here. All right? I don't even know if this is something you can handle. So you can't handle the $9 is basically just tells us that you're a real person. I can invite you in the room for free, you know, and I've done that. But I always find that when I do it for free, people don't take it seriously. You understand? There's just something about it that when you pay $1 than paying nothing, I'd rather go to a concert and pay $1 than go to a concert for free. You know, it just makes you more interested, more serious, because the chances are, I was like, it was only free. I'll do it next time. Now, if you're serious, you're going to take it and you're going to get it. And by the way, this is what you're going to get with this. Everything that you're going to get. You're going to get the level 3 time and sales, entries and exits. I'm also going to give you the Traders Work library of hundreds of hours of strategies that we've done every Tuesday, of questions and answers from traders, from winners all the way down to losers. I'm also going to throw in my book for free, okay? So you are going to get access to a PDF of my book. So instead of going out there and paying $47 for it, you could if you want. I mean, the only person, you know, that doesn't, like I said, it's nice, you know, you got a nice handy, but you know what? If you want to save the $47, it's only going to cost you $9. As a bonus, I'm going to throw this in there on top of it. If you register right now, the first 20 people, I will even give you a coaching class. That's right. I will actually talk to you on the phone. Now think about it. When's the last time you spoke to the owner? When's the last time you actually bought something from somebody and they're like, they got no time to talk to you. Listen, I need to interview you. All right. I need to make sure that if we're going to move forward, that you're the right fit and that you're not going to put any danger of other traders, and also, most importantly, it to yourself. All right. You first need to see if this is something that you like. Be able to see iceberg orders, be able to see, you know, traders that make money doing it, seeing how people control losses. All right. And then, you know, making sure you're doing your homework. If you're not that person, listen, then I don't even want to teach you. I don't want to train you, because you know what? At the end of the day, who's going to look bad? I'll get the bad publicity. Oh yeah, I took Fausto's class and I was in there and I lost, you know, thousands of dollars. I don't need the scrutiny. Listen, I'm going to tell you something right now. You will never, ever meet somebody that has a 5-star rating on Google. You will never see anybody that has an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau. You will never see a school that's endorsed by some of the biggest brokerage firms in the industry. Thinkorswim, TradeStation, I'm speaking to Schwab, NASDAQ, okay? NASDAQ. When's the last time? I know some of you here spend lots of money in education. You ever look at their credentials? They're like, you know, he's such a great trader. I assume every brokerage firm is hiring you, because the brokerage firms feel like if you know what you're doing, you'll be a client theirs forever. Oh, you know, I don't know what this. I'm not here to bash anybody, but you are a very smart person, and you need to do your homework first. So if you're going to do your homework first, go out there, get that $9, sign up right now, and see if everything that we talked about is really working. That's what we need to focus on. Because you know what? You don't want to be involved in a stock like this and you own it and think like, oh my God, this is the greatest story. Biden says everyone's got to buy electric cars, and we can't have electric cars without charging stations. It's like having gas cars without gas stations, right? So it's a great story, and we know what's going on. But you know what? And it might be a great story, and it might go higher, but you got to get past that 218,000 share seller first. And if you didn't see him, and you bought it at 20, and right now you're at that 1930, and you lose and you had 1,000 shares, you're down $700. What are you gonna do? Tell Biden, oh, look what you did. You made me buy a stock, because you're talking about this, which like I said, could be a good story, could be true, but that guy didn't get the memo. He's still a seller. He's still out there. So until then, you're trading blind. So go out there, make the investment, $9, 1 week trial, and we'll give you access to it. There's the link, and I posted a link. Oh, and another thing, fellow traders. Another thing, we are not going to charge you after 7 days anything. Some of you are already asking me, okay, what's it after a week? Are you going to automatic bill me? No, I don't need that. Okay. For what? For you to dispute in your credit card, it ends up costing me triple than what I basically charge. It's not worth it. If you don't want to move forward with CTU, that's great. I'm not going to be offended by it or anything else. I just want to make sure that I want to teach as many people as possible to scare the living hell out of you, that before you go out there and learn and do it on your own, that this is the real facts that's going on, and see if it's really for you. Now, I just want to go over there's a bunch of people registering right now, and I'd just like to do a couple of shout outs really quick right here. Where are we? There we go. So there are a couple of people that just registered. Oh, by the way, when you register, very important, there's a questionnaire that's going to come right after. Please let us know a little about you. How did you hear about us? Who's your broker? How much money you're trading with? Do you have level 3 access? I think it's like 5 or 6 questions. The more you help us, the more we can help you. Okay. So there is basically a questionnaire. Fill it out. Once you fill that out, you'll get access to the book. The books are very fast free, by the way. You'll like it. All right. Any other questions? Do we have to get a new broker, or how do we get it? Listen, Marco, that's a great question. Okay. And you know what? We should share that question with that Marco wrote in there. Marco wrote this question in there. I want to share with everybody. You don't need a broker. You don't need anything. You know what you need? $9. Okay. That's all you need. I'm going to go take you out for a test drive on the car before you go out and buy it. You might love it. You might hate the damn thing. Let's go out there and make sure that car, let me basically go for a road test. You're not going to go out there and like, oh, I like the car. Let me go spend all this money. Next thing you know, you get in the car like, holy crap, now I got to pay for this. I got to pay for that. I got to pay for this. And I should never bought in the first place. Let's go test drive and go from there. William, yes. If you can't start immediately and you want to push it off, when you talk to education advisor, all you have to do is tell them, this is the starting date I want to start at. But you know what? It's fresh in your mind right now. For some of you say, you know what? I want to do this, but I want to wait 3 weeks. I'll register in 3 weeks. Just pay the $9, get in our database, and then we'll push it off till 3 weeks from now. Because I know if you don't do it now, you're probably never going to do it. And that's, and you might, but just lock it in. Lock it in right now. Let us send you the alerts in the meantime, and get everything else, and then we'll book your appointment then. All right, there's a bunch of people registering right now. Just want to show you right here. These are all the registrations right now. You can see it. I'm seeing them coming in right now. Who we got here? David Johnson just got your registration. Robert Bush, I got your registration. Welcome aboard. What else we got here? Richard McLean got your registration. Jeffrey Sands got your registration. Welcome aboard. Nancy Malfin got your registration. I didn't see you, Ted. Ted, you were asking some great questions. Marco, I saw you answered questions. Cheryl, you were asking some great questions also. I didn't see you register. What are you waiting for? It's $9. Listen, where are you going to get the tools of having a 12-time world champion showing you how to stop losing money? Okay? And you know what? There's some of you here that brought up and said, well, I'm trading futures or I'm trading options. Let me tell you something about those different exchanges. If you've been doing it for more than 3 months and you're just not seeing you're making money or consistently, just seeing a turn, you're wasting your time. I had employees that I hired in the past, and if I keep training them for 3 months, I can't keep paying them. They're going to have to go. That's really what it comes down to it. And you know that too, owning a business or even just having colleagues that you work with. You're like, my God, I can't keep watching this person. How they keep him here? He's going to get me in trouble, or I might even get hurt. But you got to start somewhere. So if it's not working for you, it's time to move on. Ted Comstock, I just got your registration. Welcome aboard. William Katz, got your registration. Welcome aboard. Listen, very important traders. These are all the things that you're going to be getting with the trading. Hold on one second. Excuse me. Sorry about that. These are everything that you're going to get with the class. So you're going to get live trading for a whole week. There's my little crayon right here. I just lost it. You get live trading for a whole week. You're going to get a daily watch list. You're going to get the workshops. You're going to get Traders Talk archives. You're going to get the book. And you're also going to get, if you're one of the lucky ones that logged in, and the first 20, you're going to get a free coaching class with me. If you can't get it with me, that's okay. You'll still talk to one of the other instructors. Listen, I only got X amount of hours I could share. I'm really busy at the end of the week, but I'll make time for certain ones out there. All right. So definitely be the first out there to do it. Let me see what else we got. We got a bunch of questions coming in here. Okay, Rich is doing a great job answering them. Thanks, Rich, for sharing it. You could start your child whenever you want. You could still listen. If you can't start next week or whatever it is, let me tell you though, we're going to the best times of the market. I mean, September, October, November, the best months. Shockingly, we had a great summer, which is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Samalo Daya, I hope I said it right. I apologize. My name's also very difficult. I just got your registration. Mark Mitchat, I got your registration. Welcome aboard. Please make sure you fill out that questionnaire. The better you fill it out, the better we can help you out. All right? Any other questions? $9, going once, going twice. Don't lose that opportunity. Listen, I just need to know the only thing it's there for is to weed out the riffraff. You got to understand something. Do you want to be in a room with full 5,000 traders? Because I could do that. I've done it. And what is it? Chaos. Do you want to be able to someone to sit there and take the time to answer your questions? Do you want someone to take the time and surround yourself with good traders? Right? You need to spend something. But if you're looking for free stuff, listen, I get it. Just, you know what? I'm not interested. Because to go out there and train someone to do it right is a lot of work. Listen, I'm still trying to get my son into Harvard University, and apparently they still want $70,000. I said, I don't understand. Why can't you go for free? I mean, like anything else, listen, you don't want anything for free because that's all it's worth. You just want to make sure you get a good deal, great education, and a great product. If you're really looking to take this seriously, and you're all going to have to, if not now, eventually, because you see what's happened with the market. We're down 139 points. We were down almost 1,300 points the week before. You know what? Things are not looking too bright. Inflation is up almost 9% again. Powell's thinking about raising interest another 75 basis points. Do you think this? You think this is over? And guess what? You could short. You could short the market, and that's what you got to do. Cheryl says, I'm getting registered now. Well, no problem, Cheryl. Listen, you got to do it. You got to do it. You know what? Because when the market crashes and you're sitting there holding the bag on your hedge fund or your IRA or something, you're like, do I sell it now? Well, did you see where the money is? Are they getting out? Are they jumping in? You know, I get a kick out when I watch people on TV, on the financial stations, says, I always buy in the dips. I've been hearing they've been buying in the dips since the market hit 35,000. Now we're at 30,000. You just broke 31. You know, you're still buying on the dips? Okay. Listen, yeah, maybe 10, 20 years down the road. But why not just get a better deal? Right? Cheryl, about this, the recession situation. Listen, people made a lot of money in the recession. Cash is king. That's why I love day trading. We're always in cash. Yeah. All right, traders, listen, I got to go. I'm sorry I went a little bit late. Hopefully more than worth it. But don't forget, when you register with the $9, book your appointment with the education advisor, get ready in the training course, really be focused. Don't just jump in because you'll be lost. All right. And make sure you fill out that questionnaire. So I'd like to thank the staff for all of you being here. Hopefully you learned a lot with level 3 and level 4. Hopefully you learned a little bit. I'm going to teach you a little bit how to find those stocks. And hopefully this is something that you really want to do, and hopefully it'll change your career, because let me tell you something. You know what? No one's going to match your salary than doing this, but something you could lose your salary by not learning how to do it the right way. So let's do it the right way, not the wrong way. And the right way is, let's find out if it's for us or not before we go out there and make our next trade. So good luck, everyone. Happy trading. Look forward to see every single one of you in the room. And like I said, $9, money back guaranteed. You know what? And if it works out, it could be the best investment you ever made. Thanks, everybody, for listening, and I'll see you all in the trading room.